One day I was kind of just taking a nap and I was violently woken up by my phone. I got a message from Ssin on Kakao Talk and she was like, give me your address and give me your phone number. I was like, okay. And I was like, oh, what do you need it for? And she was like, I want to send you my new palette. And I was like, she's back. She's back. So Ssinnim is back with her new collaboration with a makeup brand, and this time it is surprising. I wasn't expecting this. It is Too Cool for School, and it's part of their Glamrock line. Now I haven't used anything from the Glamrock line other than the eyeshadows, I believe, and the lipsticks. I'm really interested to see how well the eyeshadows work. Her collaboration before was with Unpretty Rap Star, which I thought was a good fit, but unfortunately they're not selling anything in Wonder Place anymore because I guess they just weren't selling makeup in general, so they just took it out of Wonder Place being that clothing store that I go to often. I should have picked up one of her contouring palettes because that contouring palette is like one of my, probably my all-time favorite contour palette because it was like the perfect shade for like contour, but anyway. Oh, and also the brow mascara, ugh, favorite brow mascara. But anyway, this one, it arrived to me in a beautiful black box. She did an unboxing. And there was a cute little note from Ssin. That was really sweet of her. You know, I actually have her on Kakao Talk, but like, I never message her because I'm too shy, because I feel like she's just like too fucking cool for me. And even we went to Influence Asia together, but even though I saw her, I kind of just like nodded at her, but I was too shy to talk to her. So I was like shocked to see that she was even willing to send me one of these things for PR. But anyway, the box also came with a kind of guide. There are two palettes. One is called Mysterious and the other is called Secretive. In her announcement video, oh bitch, the packaging. Go, you thought you knew packaging? You don't know packaging. Oh, it's so sad. If you go to a place that has tteokbokki and you either get it takeout or you get it sent to your house, they give you this little thing to open the packaging. That's what I've been using to open boxes and shit. I really don't want to like ruin it. The tissue paper, ugh. Doing it for the vine. Oh, bit. Here I am ripping this shit up, and I could have just. Oh. Do you see this shit? Holy shit. That one is Mysterious, and this one, oh lord. And this one is Secretive. Oh. Oh my god. Now you can kind of tell them apart in that, because if you see the colors that they have in the palette, this one's more purple, and this one is more of like a reddish tone. You can kind of tell via the packaging. This is a little bit more purple, and this is a little bit more red, so in that way you can kind of distinguish the two. But other than like the glittery packaging, which surprisingly, there's no glitter that comes off, which is a thing, like whenever I see things like this, that's one of the things that I'm like worried about. So you get 6 beautiful eyeshadows. You get a mirror here, and you also get 3 cheek powders. Just like You're the Reason I Live and Breathe, these colors will make you happy and alive. These colors shall not conceal, but reveal who you truly are. Your beauty lies not in others, but in your acceptance of yourself. Oh shit. Alright, Katie! Alright. That was the more purpley palette. This is the more reddish one right here. Oh shit. Now I'm not gonna lie. I was hanging out with Russell and Diana, and we passed by Too Cool for School, and I was kind of curious as to, I knew they were selling it, but I wanted to see it in person. So I saw it, and I kind of cheated, and I swatched a few, and okay, you know, because you guys know that the Anastasia palette got me like, oh, I was about to say shook, but I'm like so old for that word, but it got me feeling some type of way. So I kind of compare a lot of Korean eyeshadows I use now to like that kind of like American. I feel like American eyeshadows in Sephora are a little bit more pigmented than Korean shadows are in general. Of course, there are really fantastic eyeshadows in Korea now, but I always felt like things in Sephora, from my experience, are a little bit stronger. And this one, girl, she was not messing around. She was not messing around. The colors seemed really strong and pigmented with only like a little bit of a swipe. So I'm gonna swatch these all for you, and we will go on to applying them on the face. Now, I didn't put primer on my eyes. I just used the same foundation that I used on my face on my eyes because I feel like this formula is a little bit more tacky, so I feel like it would work decently as a eye primer. Put it all over my lids, so I'm gonna set it with a shadow. This one here is Unseen. It's kind of your basic beige toned eyeshadow. And it seems like a little bit of powder is kicking up, but it's not like thick chunks of powder, so I don't mind that. I have a problem when there's like heavy like chunks of really powdery eyeshadow that are coming off the eyeshadow when you dip your brush in. So I definitely feel like this is a color you can use as like a really soft natural highlight around your eyes, maybe in the inner corner or your exude side if you like to do that. But for now I'm just using it as a kind of like, because it's similar to my skin tone, I'm just using it as a base to set the primer, I guess. Next, I'm going to, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't wanna really, I mean, I can follow this like face chart if I wanted, but I kinda just wanna go in and play. Bitch, I'm just gonna go right in. I'm gonna use this purple one called Veiled. Oh, I forgot to fucking mention it. This whole line is called Veiled Shin. Did I mention it? I don't remember. I can tell, oh girl, she ain't messing around here. Oh, yes! Is that coming off properly on camera? Oh my god. Oh, bitch, she's not messing around. Oh, it's coming off a little bit light on camera. It's a slightly bit deeper on, like in person. So if on camera, it's probably coming off as something that's like not really pigmented, but it's really like I don't have to work that hard. I've had colors like this where I have to really dip in like a lot to like really build it on the eyes, but I feel like and also when you apply it and like you start blending, it disappears. With this one, I don't find that it really does that. Now this is a shade of purple I wouldn't personally wear, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna deepen it up using this color here. Kind of deepen it in a way to kind of change the tone of the color. I love colors like this. Like the really coppery sort of shades. This one's called Bang. I don't know if you can tell, but the slight difference between the two now, I would lean more towards something like this. One thing I will say though is that when I dip my brush in, the actual pan kind of wiggles, so that that worries me a little bit, but hopefully it doesn't fall out. I know that looks messy, it looks really messy, but I'm gonna blend it, so. This color right here is kind of like a taupey, antique kind of pewter shade. I'm just gonna take that with my finger. Put that on the center. For a bit of shine. And to add a little bit of depth to the look because it's looking a little bit like one-dimensional is I'm gonna use Silent, the brown color in the palette. Do you see this? Do you see it wiggling? Ooh. Sometimes a lot of palettes that have a lot of mid-tone or mostly deep shades. Now this is like a decent range of like mid, deep, and light shades. But sometimes if there are a lot of mid-tones, the deep shades in the palette, if you're working like this, if you have a lot of mid-tones and then you put a deep shade, you don't really see the deep shade, and sometimes it doesn't like make much of a difference. But luckily the brown has enough pigmentation in it and it's a deep enough color to actually, even with these other mid-tones, it makes a difference. So I'm really glad that it's the case. Oh my god, but I also love how it's not too deep. Well, in terms of like with these other colors, I love how it's not too deep so that it almost works as like a natural kind of like, it adds natural depth rather than like, you'll have your purple here like a dark outer corner color. Oh, that is so pretty. They work so well together. Do you see that? So it really creates like that 3D of, oh fuck. I'm also going to add that to the inner corner. Oh my god. You know, I think because Ssin works a lot with American kinds of brands, and she also watches a lot of like Western beauty YouTubers. She has that sort of like it's not just Korean style makeup. She can go there like a little bit more intense, because we all know that Western makeup and Korean makeup are very different. Western makeup is a little bit more heavy. So I feel like with this palette, you can definitely get your sort of daily looks. You can just add this, like these sorts of shades, and just a really cute daily everyday makeup. But then you can go real deep, like would you call this deep and crazy? Not really. You can really go in with the look. So I'm really excited about this collaboration. And I'm gonna load this small brush again, this sort of smudge brush, and I'm gonna take off most of the color. I'm gonna take off most of that color, and whatever is left, which is still a lot, I'm gonna add that to the other corner here. All these heavy colors are making my eyes look a little bit tired, so I'm gonna add the beige shade Unseen to the kind of aegyo area, and also the inner corner to brighten this area up. So the whole eye isn't looking too deep. This will be a small, subtle thing, but it should make more of a difference on the overall look. And just for fun, I'm gonna add the shimmery, what is this? Moonage on the inner corner. Oh my, that is so pretty. Shit. I'm gonna take this brush one more time, and I'm gonna add the same color here. We already put it on the outer corner, but I'm using a small brush. I'm gonna kind of concentrate it as like a sort of liner, because I don't have eyeliner on me right now. I'm too lazy to get it, even though I've been standing up for the past 10 minutes getting shit that I forgot to get. Oh my god, I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. Now I'm gonna go into the cheek products. There are 3 cheek products. I believe this one, Marvelous, the highlighter, is in both palettes, but it's kind of more of a, it's a little bit chalky, like, well, from this finger swatch, but when you blend it out on this, when you blend it out on the skin, it's more of like a really subtle highlighter. It's like a creamy powder. So, because there are some highlighter powders that are very powdery, so they kind of just sit on top of the skin. But this is one of those powders, from my finger swatch, it seems like one of those powders that kind of blends and melts into the skin rather than just sits on top. And I do prefer highlighters like this. It reminds me of like maybe the Makeup Forever highlighter, like the Formula, and also the Becca highlighter. What I noticed from MAC highlighters, although they're strong, they're more powdery, and I feel like they sit on top of the skin. But this one doesn't really have any shimmers or glitters. It's kind of like a glow. So that's what I'm gonna use for my highlighter. But first I'm gonna add a cheek color. There are 2 in here. There's Sunlit right here. Oh, that has a glow to it as well. Oh, and then there's Virgin. Not me. This is more, can you see that? This is a really subtle, really natural looking pink highlighter. A really natural looking color flush to the cheeks. Like that one's matte. So that's the one I'm gonna use. Actually, Mitch, I'll just fucking mix the 2. Let's have some fun. I did powder my face a little bit so that they blend a little bit better. 좋아. Really natural, so you're not gonna get like a strong thing. Like you can build up the color, but you're not gonna get like a strong thing of blush or anything. There's some people that like that, I don't like that, but I prefer a blush like this. And then the highlighter. Oh my god, I love that. Oh my god. And it really like melts into the skin. It doesn't, holy shit. No ma'am. No ma'am. Oh my god. Excuse me, Shin? Excuse me? And because I don't have, there's obviously no lip color here, so I'm just gonna use this Moonshot cream paint light fit in vintage dress. So we can put more of the focus on the eyes. So what do I think of this palette? I fucking love it. I don't think there's anything negative I can say about it other than like the shadows being a little bit shaky in there, but that's something that's quite trivial. In terms of like the pigmentation and the quality of the shadows, I think they are quite high up there in terms of quality. This definitely leads more towards something that I would find maybe in Sephora rather than a store in Korea, so I'm really excited about this. There's only 6 colors in here, but I feel like, you know, you can get, depending on like the brushes you use, the amount of pressure, how much you build them up, you can get your daily look out of this, but you definitely can take it there to the next level, especially when you have like lashes, liner, things like that. For me, this is a palette I would take with me as well, especially because there are also cheap products in there, which is really convenient. And the fact that you get 2 blush options, and all of it is this really sleek like packaging. It's really sturdy, it doesn't feel cheap, and the magnetic closure, I really like magnetic closure. So when I first saw the palettes, I was a little worried that the colors were a little random almost, but they all actually, when they're on the eyes, they work really well together. So I can tell she really thought this one out. Not that she would not think it out. But anyway, the Mysterious palette, thumbs up for me. I changed my lens real quick. Maybe you can get a better look at the eyeshadow look here. Oh my god. Shin is gonna watch this video. Edward, what the fuck is this review? I send you this fucking palette to promote my shit, and here you are fucking it up. I'm sorry. Oh my god. When I was opening the other one, this fell out. Oh my god. Oh, it's still kind of sticky, so I think I can stick it back in there. Oh. I'm sure this is not Shin's fault. This is the manufacturer's fault. I guess what I was afraid of happened. If it ever falls out again, I'll probably just use a hot glue gun to stick it back in there, or super glue. But yeah, continue on the review. This is the second palette. Secret, this is from seeing it like right here. If you cover these two, everyday palette. Everyday palette. If you want to get a little bit crazier, you got these 2 colors. And like I mentioned earlier, the Marvelous highlighter is still in there, and you've got your 2 cheek colors, Barely and Fetish. Oh shit, what you trying to do, Shane? What you trying to do? So with this one, I guess I'm gonna do more of a kind of daily look, I suppose. I mean, fucking at this point, I'm just daily looks, am I right? Am I right? So I did the same thing, and I primed my lids using that same foundation that I used. And I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, Skins, appropriately named. And I'm just, well, that would be a really pretty highlighter actually, for your face or your eyes. What am I gonna do? As an all over lid shade, I'm gonna use this color, Elusive. So it seems to me like this, as well as the other palette. Yeah, most of the, like the only matte colors are like, in this palette, the only matte color is the red one, and the other one, the only matte color is the purple one. And they're not, the other colors aren't shimmery, other like this top shade here is like really, probably the glittery shade, but even then, the glitters are so fine, you can almost categorize them as just shimmer. But the rest of the colors are more of like, if you know the name of it, can you put it in the comment section? It's kind of like a glowy, semi-matte. It's like semi-matte, but it has like a bit of glow to it, like a sheen to it. That sort of finish, like this sort of finish. Because I noticed with a lot of Korean eyeshadow palettes, or even like drugstore in America, a lot of colors tend to be like on the shimmery side. But I'm not really a big fan of like just shimmery eyeshadows. I think you need your kind of like balance between matte, shimmer, and maybe glittery shadows. This one I have to build up a little bit. And then I'm gonna use this shade below a whole bit. Girl! Oh my, she's been watching my videos. Not kidding. Oh god, I'm gonna put this on the outer corner. Oh, again. It's one of those shades that works, like all the colors work really well together. This shade really helps, it works with the other shade that I use, in that I can, if I use both shades in this placement, you can really get that really natural looking depth. Because I mean, you can use any 2 eyeshadows, one lighter, one darker, to do sort of like, what do they call it, disco ball halo effect. But sometimes, if you want that a sort of natural like take on that, it wouldn't make sense to use like a yellow all over and then like a dark blue like on the outside, you know, like you're technically doing the right thing, like you're using a light color and then a dark color on the outside and the inside. But if we're talking like more natural, I think the colors in these palettes work really well in giving you that sort of look. The pigmentation on these is not as strong as the other one, I think, but I believe it's because of like just the nature of these colors. I know there are some people out there that enjoy this level of pigmentation. And of course there are those that want way stronger, but you do have to remember that it also has to do with like the types of colors that you're using. Ooh, hold on. Hold on. Do you see this? It's almost like the shadows are like jelly-like. That one in particular, probably not the matte shade, but the texture is really interesting. Now using my finger, I'm gonna go back to that middle shade that we use and oh, that is so pretty. Oh God. And intensify the center. And I'm taking my pinky finger just from the very, 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 very center. Putting it right there. In the pan, it looked like a really high shine, silvery, glittery shade, but I think it's really just this sort of frosty shimmer. And then I'm gonna use the deep brown in here to add definition to the outer corner of my eyes. That sort of eyeliner effect that I was doing in the other one. I forgot to mention that there's like literally no fallout so far from these shadows. It might have to do with the fact that I'm tapping off the excess, but sometimes with some shadows, even really good eyeshadows, even if I tap off, there's still a tiny bit of fallout, but even here, I don't see anything really. Oh, I like that. It adds the right amount of definition to the eyes. It gives you that sort of eyeliner look without actually having to put eyeliner. I want to swatch this red one. Oh, that's pretty. That's kind of like a tomato red kind of shade. Excuse me, girl. Oh my lord. You know what? Let's just add that color for fun because I want to use it. Using that brush I used for the eyeliner, I'm gonna dip into the red shade. What is it called? Warning. Ooh, girl. Should have read that before I had swatched it. Oh my god, I love it. Some people might think that's weird, but I kind of like the look, that almost like vampire kind of look where the lower lash line is red. I know I see it a lot on Instagram where girls they really smoke their lower lash line out. They'll put like a lot of eyeshadow on the bottom and like they'll smoke it down a lot. I've seen that, not my personal favorite, but for this kind of look with this sort of color, no. This is the final thing. I'm gonna kind of mix these. Oh shit, probably should not have done that. Okay. Alright. I didn't put eyeliner, but I am gonna put mascara because some of the powder got on my lashes. It kind of makes it, because my lashes are just so long and luscious, they catch like all the eyeshadow. So it can kind of, it looks kind of weird. So I'm just gonna darken them up again with mascara. Oh my god, that is so pretty. Oh my god. I'm like so excited right now. I'm not even joking. Yeah, let's just finish this before I get too fucking, before I like explode. Now I didn't wipe off I didn't remove the highlighter in cheek color from my last, from the last look, but that's okay. The highlighter is the same anyway. And these colors, they're very natural sorts of colors, so I don't think they're gonna make too much of a difference when I put them on the cheeks. This color here, Barely, which is a fitting shade, I can barely see it. I know Korean girls really love this sort of shade where it's really, because of course they really love to maintain that really even tone to the skin, so they don't put blusher on, like they don't put too much blusher on. So if they want to put blush on but they want to maintain that sort of like even skin tone, they'll use colors like this or colors that are really, really light. So there's like a hint of color, so but it's not gonna register as like blush. Colors like this are really good for if you want like that look, but you don't want to look like dead. Because sometimes if your face is just one skin tone, then you can look kind of dead. Also really good if you did like eyes and lips and you find that maybe if you put blush on, it might be too much. A color like this would be really good because it looks barely there. This color right here, Fetish. Why is this giving me NARS orgasm vibes? Oh girl, yes. No, she's giving me NARS orgasm. Holy shit. It's a really pretty natural warm pink, and it has like really, really, really fine gold shimmers in it. So, oh, I don't put that on my cheeks. That's what I want. That's what she wants. She wants fetish on her cheeks. Oh my god. This really reminds me of both NARS Orgasm and that one elf blush. Y'all know the blush that they say is like a dupe for NARS. That is so fun. That is a real, that's a blush I would use. And then I'm just gonna touch up the highlighter. Oh shit. Oh my god, this palette, this fucking palette. And then for the lips, I'm gonna use this thing in Hey Rosa. And that's pretty much the finished look. Oh my god, I am living. I'm living. This palette right here is definitely more on like the daily side of makeup. As you can tell here, it's not as strong as the other one. And I feel like there are more medium shades. This is really the only like super deep shade right here. Right here, and then the color down from that is this, and that's more of like a medium tone. So with that being said, it's definitely more for those people that prefer more of like an everyday kind of look. And of course, if you combine it with other things, eyeliner, eyelashes, you can probably get a more dramatic look. And even like the application, you can probably go in straight with just this color all over the lid, and you get an intense smoky eye with that. And the fact that there's a red in there, even though this red seems out of place, I feel like you can, depending on where you place it, how much you put, and the brushes that you use, this can change the look dramatically. So I like that this red is in here, and it's not just, like it looks like it's just in there just to be in there, but I feel like it has its place in this palette. Speaking of which, girl, she's gonna touch that up. And I know she made a video, in her announcement video, what she did was she combined it with another color. I think it might have been this one, I don't remember. But it turned into more of like a more wearable orange shade that she put all of the lids. So you can, of course, you can also do that. The blushes, I really like the blushes. You get two really decent options. This one, super, super natural. Probably will show up more if you're more on the fair to light side. And this one right here this is the kind of color I would normally wear if I wear blush. And of course your highlighter, which is the same as the last one, really beautiful glowy highlighter, not like intense shimmery powdery highlight. It's like a gleam, glow, like it melds into the skin. I love it. So do I recommend that palette? Yes, but of course it depends on the type of person that you are. But as a palette alone, I really enjoy it. I just wish that the pans were more stuck in there. These ones, of course, haven't fallen out yet, but with this one having fallen out twice, I'm a little worried, but of course I can fix it. And luckily, it didn't break. That's the most important thing. I love that there's pretty much no fallout. It makes it really easy, especially if you do your eyes after your foundation. And yeah, they all blend really smooth and beautifully. They're not like chalky and gross. At this point, you're probably like, Edward, which one do I get? Well, at this point, you've seen me talk about them, you know how I feel about them. So at this point, it's just a matter of like color preference and what kind of looks you'd prefer to go for. Daily looks here, more intense. You can still get daily looks from this, but there's also that sort of intense nighttime makeup that you can get. You can still get a nighttime look from this, but the options I feel like are a little bit higher this in terms of like night, like smoky looks right here. But I do feel like with the cheek colors here, you get slightly, depending on your skin tone, you get like two kind of different options in terms of cheek colors. And the highlighters, of course, are the same. These ones, I feel like the two colors are a little bit similar. The main difference is that one has a little bit of glow to it than the other. The packaging is fucking gorgeous. It's very sturdy. I mean, at the end of the day, packaging is just packaging. As long as the product works, it works. But I know there are people out there that like packaging is super important to them, and she did not skimp out on the packaging here. I think collaborations like this with really successful YouTubers like Ssinnim that, and not just successful, but makeup lovers, people that know what formulations are good, people that have used all sorts of different makeup and they know what's good, what's bad, and what their audience wants, and what, in general, what I feel like Ssinnim made this not just for her fans, but also for herself. Like, I'm sure she wouldn't make a palette that if she herself would use it, she would hate like the pigmentation or like the formula. Like, I don't know how close she worked with Too Cool for School on this, but it seemed like from the quality of this palette, it seems like she worked really close in tandem. The only criticism I have is the fact that the actual pans are kind of like loose in there, but the color schemes and the actual quality of the product, I think, were done really, really well. And that's a good thing because these palettes are not cheap. They're quite pricey, but with the packaging, the number of products that you're getting, like the 3 cheek colors, the 2 cheek colors, the highlighter, and the 6 really awesome eyeshadows in there, I think that can justify the price. So I know I did get it for free, but if it's for someone, like I know a lot of people that watch this, you know, they don't have a lot of money. You're probably the type of person that you save your money to work towards these big purchases, I guess. So if you are considering this in terms of like the quality, I think, in my opinion, I think it would be a really good purchase. So, God, I'm just gonna stop talking because I think you guys know how I feel about this. I'm gonna leave you with that. Thank you again, Ssinnim, for sending me the products. I really enjoy them. She's gonna hop on these. She's gonna hop on these palettes. So, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye. Under mountains, can't get high. I'm onto something, turning